A favorite of mine. The first time I had them, I was in Mexico, and my mother-in-law had made them for a family gathering, and all my sister-in-laws were in there making them. They were all working together, and it wasn't really for dinner. It was just for a family treat that we were having that night. But we make them for dinner, and we'll have them with the sope de fideo. My husband always has to correct me because I say that wrong. Did I still say it wrong? Okay. Tell me one more time.
Sopa.
Sopa de fideo. So sorry about that. I'm working on my pronunciation. But anyways, we would have that first, and then we'll have some sopes afterwards. What we do is we first take 2 cups of maseca. This is maseca. This is a Mexican's best friend. You must learn how to use this because this is very traditional. This is used for quite a few things, and we're going to start with that. So 2 cups of the maseca. I also need a little bit of salt. I thought I had it next to me, but I don't. So I'm going to add just a little pinch of salt to that, and some water. And I'm going to start with about 1/4 of a cup of water. And I'll get my hands in there in a second. But let's just get the consistency that we need. Now this is just, we're making the dough. This is the dough, so this is actually going to be the tortillas that we're going to make. We're making them from scratch. Yummy, they're so good. I also was going to tell you, you may notice a little difference in the quality of some of my filming. That's because most of the time I have a 9-year-old filming for me or my 14-year-old son. But today we have the rare privilege of my husband filming, and he does a much better job than the kids. So you may find that the quality is a little bit better, and so I'll just explain that to you up front. You know, he's a very busy man, so he's not around all the time. But this is actually, you know, what we're having for dinner. Everything I make is something that we're making for dinner that night. I don't ever make anything just for the sake of making a video. So it's always incorporated into our dinner. And looks like we're just going to keep adding. So now we've put in about 1.5 cups of water. And we just want to get this into a nice dough and then have it all combined together. And I'm still going to need a little bit more water. We may end up using all 2 cups worth. But you just kind of have to eyeball it until you get it just like bread dough or cookie dough. Yeah, it's actually quite a bit like chocolate chip cookie dough. That's kind of the consistency that you're looking for. And I think I've got it. So it looks like we used about 1 cup and 3/4. Yeah, 1 cup and 3/4 for this dough. And we just want to knead it up really good. And while I knead that up, I won't make you sit and watch me knead it up because it'll take a minute or so. And I'll just come right back. Okay, now I finished doing the dough, but before I actually start molding that dough into tortillas, we're going to quickly come over here and we're going to make our salsa for the sopes. Woo, the flies are loving me today. Alright, I always have to brag a little bit, but these tomatillos are from our garden, and I'm also very proud of that. When we realized we could grow tomatillos, that was a great moment because we love tomatillos and we use them for so many recipes. Anyways, so we're going to go ahead and put those in the blender. And my tomatillos are, they're kind of on the small side. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 11, but they're kind of small. If you're getting them from the grocery store and they're a little bit on the bigger side, then I'd probably do half of what I've just put there. I've got a serrano chili. We'll start with 1 because, like I've told you before, you can always add, but you can never take away. And I've got a little bit of water. I'm going to go ahead and start this, and actually let me add a little salt too so that we don't have to come back to that. Add a little bit of salt. I'm going to go ahead and start it, and when it's finished, we'll head back on over to work on the tortillas. Alright, that has blended. I actually added 1/2 of another serrano chili, so about 1.5 chili is what we've used. and some salt, and that's good to go. Now I've got my dough, and I'm going to make it into some little balls, about that size. Now I've got my tortilla press here. This is another must-have for Mexican cook. And what you need to do is get yourself a nice big Ziploc bag, cut it open, and place that on top of your, let me move that out of the way. Place that on top of your press, and then I'm going to take my tortilla and I'm going to stick it on my press, close it, and then when I open it back up. Now it's so important that you use the plastic bag. That's the way that you're able to get your tortilla off quick and easy without it sticking. We're going to step on over here, and we've got our pancake griddle. I just use a pancake griddle to cook mine on because it's big and I can do a bunch at the same time. And I'm going to set it on there and let it start cooking up. And we're going to keep doing that process until I get all my dough used up, and then I'll show you the next step. All right. And I've got a few of these tortillas now. They've cooked, and what I'm doing is I'm pinching the edges. And if you can hear my kids in the background, they're getting impatient with me, so bear with me. They are hungry. They're ready to eat. Anyways, I'm pinching up the edges, and that's going to hold in all of our salsa verde. That's going to go inside of it. And that's all you do. You just pinch up those edges. Now what we'll do is we'll take them back over, get our salsa ready. We're going to bring them back over here to move my chicken out of the way. That's for something else. Okay, I've got a little bit of olive oil in here, and I'm just going to pour that on my pan. My pan's nice and hot, so it's just ready to cook these babies up. And we're going to take our tortilla and we're going to coat it with some oil. You can see how that works. Both sides. A little bit more for this one. Now these are just so yummy. Let me grab a spoon. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to get our salsa that we've made. We're going to put it down in the center. Nice generous helping of that. Ooh, you can hear it sizzle. Yummy. All right. We also are going to add some queso fresco that I've already crumbled up. That's going to go right on top. These are so yummy. I haven't met a person, excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat. I haven't met a person that doesn't love these. So we're adding our queso fresco. And then we're just going to let those cook up. I've got my heat on medium high heat. We're just going to let those cook up until our cheese is melted. And then I'll show you the final product. Alright, these are ready and they look delicious. I'm just going to plate one up and bring it over here. And we're going to add a little bit of onion. Now let me tell you, my husband and I had a little debate about this because my husband really likes red onion. You can use any onion that you like. Put some lettuce and a dollop of some crema, and you have a delicious sopes. And I'm telling you right now, I have never met anyone that doesn't love these. It doesn't matter who they are so yummy. And there are so many things you can do with them. You can put so many different toppings on them. This is a simple, basic topping everyone will love. And until next time, we'll see ya. Bye-bye.